Hello and welcome to the TSHEPISHOW, pun absolutely intended, the podcast where we talk about the things that nobody wants to talk about, the uncomfortable truths of life, all for the sake of growth and self-actualization, bettering your human interactions, one podcast at a time. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you will grow. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome your host, TSHEPISHOW Kongo.
Whoa! Hello guys, a very good morning to you all. I hope you're all doing good and you're doing well, especially during these COVID times, but I really trust that you've tried to make the best out of what is happening despite very terrible circumstances. Anyways, welcome to episode number 19 of the Tippy Show. So today I just thought I'll talk about self-esteem because I think this is the one area of a life that can either make or break you, But the best part of it is that it stems from within. Does it stem from within? Yeah, it stems from within. So yeah, I just thought I'd tell you guys about how I was able to get over my very low, super ridiculously low self-esteem. Or maybe just the way I saw myself. Yeah, I don't like to use cliche words. So I'll just say my perception of myself, how I thought of myself and how I saw myself. So I think growing up, I had a very low self-esteem, and especially because of my weight. And I know it's going to be weird because people are going to be like, what? Yeah, no, granted, I'm not big. I am very small, petite. But I think because I was always surrounded by women that were always very critical of their bodies, I think that became my perception of reality. So that even though I wasn't as big or voluptuous, I'm trying to find the right word without offending anybody, that's how I kind of learned to treat myself and treat my body, And I think that's also why it's very important as women that we really do what's the word? We work on our self-esteem issues before we bring little girls into the world, so that we don't pass on the negative feelings and perceptions we have of ourselves. Well, at least that's what I'm striving to do. I don't want to pass on any dysfunction to my next generation. So I'm getting all the help I need now. So yeah. So I think because of that, I just had I just learned to just criticize my body, the way I looked from a very young age. And I think maybe that was normal because the older women, aunts and whatever, that always be talking about how they're so huge and, weight. I don't know if this only happens in black families, but it's almost like a greeting to comment on somebody's weight. Yo, I haven't seen you forever. Look at you now. You've put a bit of weight, look at you now. You're a little bit chubbier than I last saw you. Look at you now, and then I remember somebody said on Twitter, on social media, they said that, dear black people, you've gained weight is not a greeting. It's yes, we know we've gained weight, okay? Next. So I think because of that was the dialogue, and that was the kind of upbringing I had, where everybody was weight conscious, always talking about weight and dieting. So before I even could understand or even decipher this information to see if it actually applied to me, I would already accepted it as my reality because that's how everybody used to talk. So I think I just had a skewed perception of myself. And also because, when you're inside your body, you see it differently than somebody who sees it outside of you. I don't know if that makes sense, but for me, that's what I found. People would always tell me I'm skinny, but I didn't believe I was skinny. And it's not that I thought that I was chubby or voluptuous or thick or anything. I just didn't believe it because that's not what I saw. And you know what's one of the contributing factors, ladies? This is going to blow your mind. When you sit down and then your thighs just spread, and then when you're looking at your thighs when you sit, and then obviously they get huge, and then you feel oh my gosh, I'm huge, Or another contributing factor for me is the fact that the house that we grew up in, we didn't have mirrors. Well, we had mirrors your bathroom mirrors, a bathroom mirror, which is obviously what's from your chest up, type of thing. So there was no actual full body mirror. So I think also growing up, I never actually got to actually see myself. I know you're like, what? But I promise you guys, all these things, they add up. They really do add up, because you don't realize that you actually don't know what you look like, and that you've actually never seen yourself. So if you've never actually seen your full body in its full proportions, or you don't have a house with mirrors, then you actually don't know what you look like. So even what you think you look like, you might not actually look like that. But obviously it's just your perceived reality. And then maybe the first time you see your height, length, whatever, is in a photo with other people. And then obviously then the comparison starts. Now you're comparing yourself to other people, or looking at how you look at yourself in comparison to other people. So that was my personal journey. And then I think because, it was just a very skewed way of looking at things. Then reading up, I think in life orientation, we had to do a project where they were discussing various eating disorders like bulimia and anorexia. And then there was this concept that I came across, which was called body dysmorphia. And I was like, what the heck is body dysmorphia? So body dysmorphia is where you have an incorrect view or perception of yourself. So for instance, you could be somebody who is skinny, but you think that you are fat, but you're not fat. And again, ladies, I'm not using the word fat to like condemn anyone or to be rude. I just don't know what word to use. I should have checked my thesaurus before hopping onto here. But just the perception. So because that's how you perceive yourself, that's how you think you are. But meanwhile, you're not. So I think for the longest of times, I had body dysmorphia. Didn't even know there was such a thing. And now the messed up part about it is that because we were in that generation, so, I wasn't really a magazine child, but I think the people at school were like, the children that I went to school with, primary school with, they were always so fixated on their celeb life and, how they dressed, how they looked, those fashion magazines, 17 and whatever, what is being so cosmopolitan and all that. I really wasn't a magazine person because we didn't really do those kind of magazines. And at home, my dad only had a subscription for the Sunday Times. So I read what came out of the Sunday Times, which was really like lifestyle and like articles. And, those are the kind of things that I had access to. I don't really go through what's this? Is it People's Magazine? I think my first exposure to all those kinds of magazines was at school because somebody would bring it and they would talk about how so and so, this deep fixation on celeb life. I think really it came from other people that were so fixated. And also at home, we didn't really have DSTV, so I also didn't have an opportunity to be watching Mary-Kate and Ashley or whatever was available at that time. I can't even remember. So we only watched Generations and I think Movango at one stage, and then that was pretty much it. Generations, 8 o'clock, that was it. And then obviously cartoons and YoTV. I used to love YoTV. So I never really got to experience the celeb life or really understand what it was all about. And I never really understood the fixation with celebrities and how they look and the diet that Beyonce took and Kim. I never really understood that kind of stuff until obviously you're in high school and it's the talk, everybody's like, oh, did you see what Lindsay Lohan did? Did you see this and that? Did you see this and that? I say that to say this because in the magazines, that's what they'd always portray, how to lose weight, how to get the man that you like, and always related to your size, your age, whatever, how to get rid of wrinkles, how to whatever. So then I realized that all these magazines were really targeted on women's insecurities. Every single one of them, it's they just pick which insecurity can we can capitalize on and make money and make profit off of. Okay, so women are very insecure about their thigh cellulite. I didn't even know the word cellulite, and then when I did find out about it, I didn't think someone like me had it, until it was made abundantly clear by the media that everybody has cellulite and everybody, because that's the thing. It's they don't want anyone to be confident because obviously that negatively affects their sales. So you always have to be purchasing something to fix your cellulite, or if you're not fixing your cellulite, you need to fix your stretch marks. If you're not fixing your stretch marks, you have to be fixing your scars. If you're not fixing your scars, you need to fix your weight. If you're not fixing your weight, you need to fix your diet. If you're not fixing your diet, you need to fix your teeth. If you're not, by the way, I fixed almost all of what I've mentioned now. I just haven't found a plastic surgeon. No, I'm kidding. This is not that type of podcast, guys. No plastic surgery. Actually, it's your choice. I won't tell you guys what to do or what not to do. So because of that, I just want to highlight that that can literally just shape the way you view things, the information that you take in, what you're constantly seeing on TV, and being obsessed with the model life. So I think for me, I came out of a background where that wasn't necessarily the talk, but just how the women in my family used to talk about themselves. And then, that getting passed on. But it wasn't so much like celebrity and, what was happening on media that affected me as much until, like, obviously I started interacting with other kids at school where they would bring 17 and they always like put together outfits. Because I know some girls used to take like pictures from magazines and then put together an outfit and whatever. I don't know. I only use magazines for like vision boards, hey, like for me, literally. But then obviously my curiosity would spark because now they always used to have these articles and they used to tell you how to get a man. And you're like, actually, why do you need a man? You're in primary school, but hey, let's just roll with it. So yeah. That has just been my experience. And I also say that just to also make you guys aware so that you can see, like, question the information that's constantly being presented to you about yourself. Alrighty. So in terms of my body dysmorphia, then this one time I decided that because I loved swimming. I loved swimming and I loved collecting swimsuits. I still do actually. I'm just waiting for this airport to open. Please open, airport. Release us. But anyways, I love swimming. I really, really absolutely love swimming. Okay, it's one of my favorite pastimes. I love it. And then so I have a collection of bikinis, more swimwear, but mainly bikinis. But now I'm venturing out into other stuff because I absolutely love it. So I had this other bikini. I think I still had a collection back then, but it was so weird because I used to collect them, but I still didn't feel good about myself. But I felt confident enough in comparison to other people to wear it. I don't know if that's weird or maybe messed up. Yeah, judge me, whatever. So because I'd just like, you see, that's the thing. It's like this comparison thing. It's like not good in any way. But anyways, I think I rationalized that, okay, people are calling me skinny, therefore I should be skinny, therefore I should be confident to wear this. Even though I wasn't confident, I would like obviously compare myself to other people and be like, okay, well, I'm not as this person, or I'm not as this person. So because of that comparison that I made, I guess that's what gave me that little bit of confidence to kind of wear that swimsuit and whatever. Because then there was also a time where when I started wearing costumes, or when I saw people wearing costumes, the girls used to wear swimming costumes with shorts, and I never really understood that. But then all my friends, so it became like a thing. So I started also wearing that costume with shorts. But then I was like, but why am I wearing my costume with shorts? Like, it's so pretty and so colorful. What's the point of buying a bikini if you're gonna wear it with shorts? And in my experience, like I say, this is just my experience, guys. So I'm not saying that this is how things are. This has just been my experience. It's usually the black girls that would wear their costume with shorts, but whereas the white girls were just so confident and so free. And some of them weren't even as skinny, but they were still confident in their skin. And I remember thinking, wow, like, what does it take to be so confident in your body that it doesn't even matter that magazines have told you that you need to be a size, what do they say? Okay, well, we don't use size 0s and 2 and 4s in South Africa. Size 28 or size 26 or, is 24 a thing, guys? Damn. Okay, whatever, So yeah, so I was super fixated and how like some girls were just so confident. And I remember thinking, wow, why are these girls so confident? And I've always like admired my white friends just for that confidence that they had. And like I said, they weren't even as skinny, but they were just like comfortable and confident. And then I was thinking to myself, has this got to do with upbringing? What is it? Why is it that white people are so confident? But get this, hey, even growing up, now that I'm older and I'm like 26, I've realized that white people are also confident in like other spheres of life, like, well, from like I said, just my observation. They're confident in the workplace, confident in starting a business, and they won't even like be bothered that they don't have such and such a qualification. They're just going to go ahead and apply for that job and just be confident and just believe that they're going to get it. And they do, because I think that's why most people have been getting annoyed, because now with the exposés, and then it shows that certain people in places of influence only have like a matric And it's like, what? How did you get there? And Black Twitter is angry because how the heck did you get there without having a degree, and you only have a matric? But I don't know. It's just like, I think that's maybe one thing we can learn from our Caucasian brothers and sisters, just that confidence and that oomph. But anyways, back to the whole body situation. So I was just always fascinated and intrigued by how people were so confident in their bodies and confident in how they presented themselves. And I thought to myself, but I'm skinnier than this girl, but she is so confident. Like, what's the difference between her and I? Like, shouldn't she be the one that's less confident? But I was the one that was less confident. This one time I decided that I'm gonna have a shoot at home. We lived in a townhouse back then. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a shoot. And again, like I said, we didn't have like full-length mirrors. So the only mirror was the one available in the bathroom. You know how they build townhouses. They put that one mirror in the bathroom. So I wore my polka dot bikini costume thingy. And then I went and I did my hair. And then and then I got my heels. Of course. Ooh, guys, ladies, really, if you're going to take pics, heels. Because it's going to like... lift your leg and leave it at an angle, which is going to accentuate all the right parts. Trust me on this one. So I got my heels, and then obviously I wanted a full body length. Now I stood on the toilet seat. I actually wish I had this picture, because maybe if I can find it, I'll post it just to show you guys. So because this for me was like one of my defining moments in terms of how I see myself and in terms of my body image. So I wore my costume, got in front of the mirror. And then because I was a bit tall and I wanted to have all of myself in the mirror, I had to like bend. So I was like wearing heels and a bit like slightly bent knees. And I literally just snapped pictures of myself. I snapped myself, turned the other way, snapped. Obviously, you pull in your stomach a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Accentuate. And then, guys, was I not blown away? I was completely blown away by the way that I look. I was like, what? Is this me? Is this what I look like? And I was like, I couldn't believe it, because all along, remember, I've been thinking I'm fat, I'm thick. Was I not blown away? I couldn't believe that this is how I actually looked. And like I said, remember, think of the upbringing. But I think even if you don't consider my upbringing, it actually might be true for you that you've actually never seen yourself and you've actually never been on a shoot. So because you've never been on a shoot, you don't know what you actually look like. And you've maybe only ever seen other people showing their shoot photos, and, and you've probably maybe mad because like, they retouched their photos. But even if you didn't do that and you just took a picture of yourself, and I think you'd actually see that you look different. So literally that day, I was shocked and stunned and in disbelief of like, this is actually what I look like. I'm like, I look amazing. So to wrap this up, I think what I'm trying to say is that your self-esteem, your confidence, it stems from within. But when I say within, that other episode when I spoke about accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. So he is inside of you. So within, not that we're self-sufficient, that we don't need God, but just that confidence of like, this is who God made me to be. Okay. So it's very detrimental. It's very detrimental to you, your career, and everything around you if you don't have self-confidence. Did you know that you can be overlooked for promotions? You could be overlooked for opportunities just because you're not confident. So because of that, I'm always on guard, always make sure that I at least look confident. There's that saying, fake it till you make it. I believe in faith it till you make it. So I call those things that are not as though they were. So if I'm ever in a room where I'm feeling a bit intimidated or like I shouldn't be there, best believe you're not going to know that. But I think, again, it just goes down to how you see yourself, what you think of yourself. When I worked at, I almost mentioned the company. I'm not going to mention the company. But when I worked at a specific company, it was always interesting to me that the men in that company were always so confident and so forthright, forthcoming, very sure, very certain in what they stood for, which was very confusing to me because we all went through the same induction and the same training. And I was asked a question, and I think I always used to answer. I still answer very honestly, and I say I don't know, but I think maybe I'll start changing that to, instead of saying I don't know, just speak about what I do know. That's just a hint. So, yeah, I think our boss at the time asked us a question, to which I replied, I don't know. Or I think I said, I'm not sure. And then the boys that I was there, and mind you, I feel like, boys sometimes take shortcuts in induction and they're not into the thing as much as we might be in. Granted, it's not all boys or whatever. I'm not trying to just paint with stereotypes. I'm just saying what I've seen from my observation. Girls, we're usually the more diligent ones, the more we wanna dot our I's and cross our T's and make sure that everything is perfect. Whereas men are more likely to just go in there, not always being fully prepared, but the confidence always gives them that edge. So our boss asked me a question, to which I said, oh, I don't know. And then he asked one of the guys, and then the guys gave an answer. But the answer, it's not that it was wrong, but it also wasn't, I don't think was like right. But it seemed like it was a sufficient enough response that my boss was like, okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, it was a good answer. From then I realized, and I'm like, but guys, we're in the same induction. And I feel like, why must you guys lie and say you know something when you don't? And I realized this is what men do in general. They always just have that ego boost and they just are so confident in themselves and they just believe in whatever thing they're going to be talking about, irrespective of whether you acknowledge it or not, or whether you agree with them or not. And from that day on, I was like, sheesh, in life, I need the confidence of a man. I'm not going to talk about channeling male energy because I don't believe in that kind of stuff, but just that confidence, man. I wish it upon each and every woman. I think I really believe that, we could be so much further in our careers and even just approaching bosses to ask for promotion or whatever it is that you might need, a salary increase. If we just had just a little more confidence, because confidence, it affects every single part of your life. So yeah, ladies, be confident. How did I get over my low self-esteem or not being confident? I literally just decided. I mean, apart from the journey I told you guys of actually looking at myself and seeing that I'm not what other people said I am, and I am what I actually look like, and actually having mirrors and actually seeing myself in photos and realizing how amazing I actually look. So that was like step one. But step number two was me actually deciding that I'm going to be confident. So now I don't wait to be confident. I don't wait to ask myself if I want to be confident. I don't give myself a chance to go the insecurity route if I can take the confidence option right then and there. Because I realize that if somebody is about to give you an opportunity, but they feel like you giving them a reason to not pick you, to not choose you, or you giving off the idea or the feel that you're not ready for it or you can't handle it, chances are whatever it is that you feel about yourself, that person will catch it. They'll be like, I don't know if this person can do it. And then they give the opportunity to the next person. So because I am a serial opportunity grabber, and I mean serial opportunity grabber, maybe one day we'll celebrate what I've recently grabbed. Maybe I'll share it. But yeah, I've just learned that you can't afford to not be confident and you can't afford to not be sure of yourself. So just be sure of yourself. Just do it anyways. It doesn't matter. People will ridicule you. People will have an opinion. That is irrelevant. So that's number 3. Other people's opinion of you, irrelevant. What other people think of you, irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything. There is one person whose opinion you should worry about, and that is the Lord Jesus Christ, aka God. So with God's approval, you're good. With the word of God's approval, you're good. You don't need to worry about that. You just need to worry about being the best version of yourself at any given time and just giving off that confidence. I know sometimes people think that I'm a very confident person, but if only they knew that I'm not always such a confident person. But it's not that I hide it, but I work through it in my private life so that I deal with my insecurities so that I can be the best version of myself. There's always somebody that is looking up to you. There's always somebody who's looking at your life as an example. There's always somebody who is being inspired by you. You don't have to be team perfection, but what I'm saying is I don't know. For me, it's I owe it to the people that are looking up to me to be confident, because if I'm not confident, then I won't be able to also even do what God is calling me to do. So I think it's also got to do with courage as well. I'm well aware that there are self-confidence courses. I haven't taken any, so therefore I can't recommend any. I don't know. But if somebody has taken a self-confidence course or has a coach in that respect, I would actually like to hear how that's going. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm very deliberate on working on my mindset and how I see things and how I see myself, most importantly. I'm also well aware how that affects how other people see me, and it affects what kind of opportunities flow into my life. So because I don't want to miss out on opportunities, I demand it of myself to be confident. I demand that even starting this podcast, I think there were like maybe reasons I shouldn't have started because this and that, all those things irrelevant. So if you are sitting on something that you know you need to do it. You'll fix it and tweak it as you go along. And even if it doesn't work out, you can just scrap it and start a new one. So don't worry. Just do your thing. Be confident. Be confident who God has called you to be. If God has called you to possess a specific thing, go out and possess it. Don't be like the troops or the spies that came back with a negative report saying that, we're never going to be able to do this. If God said, go forth and do it, go forth and do it. Go be great. Go be amazing. Like, just be confident in your skin, man. Like, I realized that lots of women actually, have a lot of stretch marks. But the thing is, you won't see it because people go for certain treatments to remove them. I can't believe I only discovered this when I was like, 25, which I'm so hacked because I wish I knew this when I was younger. I didn't know that there was a treatment for stretch marks. I didn't know that there was a treatment for cellulite. I didn't know that there's such a thing called microblading. I didn't know that there was such a thing as veneers, where you put a new layer of porcelain. They shave your teeth down, grind them down, and then they put a new layer of porcelain veneers. I didn't know that you could do that to yourself. I didn't know that you could do liposuction. I didn't know that. So sometimes it's just that you just don't know, and you're comparing yourself to people online and they don't always tell you. There was a lady I saw on social media, what's her name, Rosetta, which I absolutely love. She's a model. Is it Rosette or Rosetta? Rosette. Mwana, yeah. And she literally said, ladies, she posted a picture of herself in a bikini. She looked gorgeous. And then her caption was, ladies, Cape Town, call Dr. So-and-so and so. Trust me, you won't regret it. And I was just like, wow, what a put on. So now, if you realize that she's giving you the plug to her plastic surgeon because she got the body that she wanted from that doctor, I mean, but we do know that there are not a lot of celebrities that are open and honest about that. They won't necessarily tell you that they've done stuff to their bodies and whatever, which is why you should never compare yourself. Don't compare yourself to anybody on social media, okay? Do not. Maybe I'll do another one about Instagram and whatnot. But don't compare yourself to other people. Be confident in your own skin. You are beautiful just the way you are, okay? And the thing is, you might not think that because you're comparing yourself to other people, but you don't know what other people have done to themselves. There's like lash lifts, these extensions. I'm sure I'm not even mentioning all the things you could possibly still do to yourself. So don't worry so much about that. But if you want to and you feel like you want to do it, you can. But also don't do it for the wrong reasons as well. Don't do it because, I don't know, because sometimes you can change things and still not be okay inside. So I believe it's better to just be okay inside and then outside will follow. So for instance, people have been commenting about my weight and I really could not be bothered because firstly, I love my body, so I'm fine. Now I'm getting a personal trainer because I want abs, not because somebody else said what. Like, that's irrelevant. What people have to say about my body, irrelevant. So I'm doing something for me because this is what I want. And also because when we have children, I want to know how to lose that weight. So I don't want to like traumatize myself by becoming pregnant and then gaining weight and then not knowing how to lose the weight because I never lost weight before, even when I didn't have the babies. So I'm going to start training so that I know how to manage my weight and how to get the best results out of my body so that when it's time to conceive, I know how to lose that weight. Because I think that's also another thing. Women, you guys, you subject yourself to so much pressure. Like, you give birth, you have babies, and then you never used to exercise in your life. Now you've got all this additional weight. Now you're stressing yourself. Now you're you're trying to kill yourself in the gym because now you want to lose the weight is not going, you get depressed perhaps because you don't know how to do it and you don't know how to go back to your former weight, but you've never even exercised. So I don't want to traumatize myself like that, and I don't want to feel like a failure when I don't reach my target goals. So yeah, those are just my steps. Just decide that you have a high self-esteem. Think like somebody who has a high self-esteem. Mimic someone who has a high self-esteem. That's what I've been doing, and so far it's been great. Like sometimes if I feel bad about something, I just ask myself, what would Pum do in this situation? And then I channel my Pum energy. Pum would just be like confident, he'd move on, he wouldn't take it personally, he wouldn't be hurt, he wouldn't whatever. So I tried to put that, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna take offense, I'm not gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna rise above the occasion. Or I apply for this opportunity, it doesn't work out, what am I gonna do now? It's fine. It was a good learning experience for me. Now I can try another thing, launch another business, try a different avenue, go to a different market. So don't limit yourself. Don't allow your confidence to keep you down. Having a low self-esteem and not being confident is like the worst thing you can do to yourself, especially in this time in 2020 when there's so many opportunities and where you, in essence, have to become your brand to achieve and to do whatever you want to do. So yeah, that's it from me today. Have a wonderful Sunday. Be confident. Have a high self-esteem. Just even if you have to like mentally prepare that you like pretend that you are switching it on and you're turning it up to the highest level, and then just channel that. When you're being given projects at school, or projects at work and tasks that you've been given, be confident to be the first one to present. I think I always used to do that in varsity. I'd always ask questions. If you're there and maybe you never ask questions because you're like, I don't want them to think I'm stupid. No. Ask. The more you ask, that's how you become smarter. That's how you develop your intellectual capacity by asking questions, asking the necessary questions. Doesn't matter if lecturers get annoyed. You're paying for school fees, so you do what you gotta do. So I hope at work when they're looking for someone, you volunteer. I hope when they're doing something, you nominate yourself, because this is all I've been doing, guys. I've been nominating myself since high school. I support me before anybody else supports me. So, and I think it's always the best way to live, because then you don't need external validation. So I don't need anyone to validate me. God validates me and I also validate me. So I'm also behind myself. So even if people don't support me, it's okay. Like I'm so content as long as I'm doing what I love and I know that I'm serving my purpose and I'm serving others. I am happy to do it. So yes, guys, that's my 2 minutes. It wasn't 2 minutes. I think more like 30 minutes. But yes, let's have high self-esteem. Come on, may you have the self-esteem of a confident person, man. Or your male counterparts, or whatever counterparts, your white counterparts, not to be racial, but just admiring that strength of character that they tend to have. Like, may we apply for jobs with just our matrics. May we not worry about meeting all the requirements. As long as you meet like one, just apply. I always tell the people in my cell, guys, just apply for a job. Don't be complaining that somebody has a job and they're less qualified than you when you didn't apply. Apply. The worst they can do or say is no. And then if you don't get it, you just go again or ask why, so don't let that limit you. Don't let that stop you. Until next time, I think we're gonna perhaps do like a swish up, and I think I might be wrapping up this season here, but we'll see because there's something exciting that's coming up as well, another project. Keep tuned to our social media. Just be glued there. You'll see what we're planning on doing next. So if I don't do a podcast on this particular platform, there'll be one on another platform. But just keep your eyes and ears open. Until next time, thank you so much. And yes, guys, please feel free to submit questions or topic suggestions that you might want. I'll actually need to create like a story now where I need to put it there. What's it on the story highlights? Yes, I keep forgetting to do that, but people DM me anyway. But I think I'll do that just also maybe for the next season to prepare and just to figure out maybe if there's a way I can serve you guys or something that maybe you'd like me to discuss. Thank you so much for the support, guys. It's been phenomenal. It's been amazing. I enjoy doing this. I love it. I can't wait for you guys to see what we've been planning next. Until next time, bye.
You've been listening to The Tepi Show, the #1 podcast for people who want to get their ish together and take their life to the next level. Loved this episode? Head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. You can also share your thoughts and leave a voice message. Thank you. Until next Sunday.